This is The Shift. Each week, we sit down with remarkable people to explore their stories and the moments that define them. I'm Luke Nesler, and today's guest is Jacob Godfrey, entrepreneur and real estate investor. All right, dude. Welcome to the van.
What's up, man?
Thanks for coming, bro.
Nice place. Thanks for having me.
Dude, I'm super excited to have you on as one of the first guests. I got a ton of respect for you, dude. How old are you?
28. Just turned 28 in December.
And we met when I bought my first apartment building, which it was a little 6-unit, and it was like the third piece of real estate I'd ever bought.
Yeah, I remember that.
And you drove up and they're like, hey, what's going on? And I'm thinking at the time, I'm like, I don't want any of these people any of my tenants to know I'm the landlord. So I was like, hey, yeah, I'm the maintenance guy, because I thought you were a tenant.
Yeah.
And then you introduced yourself and learned that you owned all the stuff back behind there. And then I quickly learned that you are, if not the biggest, one of the biggest fish in town, which, I mean, then you were probably 24, 25.
Yeah.
And we've just become good buddies over the last few years. So when Anthony and I were talking about doing this show, you were one of the first 5 names on a list. I'm like, dude, we got to have Jacob on. So I appreciate you being here. The premise of what this is it's called The Shift. And when I'm explaining it to people, I tell them it's a show about the moments that made us. So anybody that's done anything great, special, unique, whether it's a professional athlete, a successful business person, musician, chef, restaurant owner, we've all overcome adversity. And maybe it was when we were a child, maybe it was last month as a business person. People like us were wired in a way that those breaking points become turning points, where most people will sit in it with a victim mindset and just complain about their miserable life that they could have changed. And that's fine. Some people are wired that way, and that's not, the show isn't to belittle those people, but it's to celebrate the people that your moment of hardship was the moment that shifted you. And I've told my story briefly a couple times, but just to give you context, the reason that's why I wanted the show to be that way was because that's how I found real estate. When you met me, I was a year, maybe 2 years into real estate.
Yes, sir.
And it was my exit plan from my previous business that I built that I ultimately became the most miserable I'd ever been in. And what exposed that was my wife and I's, we were just talking before we jumped in, I'm having another kid. It was through IVF. Well, that was because we struggled for 3 years to get pregnant. That point, which completely broke me, was also what rebuilt me and is what shifted me from a business that I could have stayed in because we were making really good money, but I would have just been miserable my whole fucking life. And that's what changed me. So you are so young that you probably still have hardships you're going to go through, but dude, how many doors do you have?
We're at 381 right now.
Yeah. You don't do that without overcoming some remarkable stuff. And I don't know your story. I know you, but like we've never like sat down and been like, hey man, tell me your story. But I know there's stuff there that there has to be for you to, at a young age, be like, man, the heck with this. I'm going to build something remarkable and unique. And I know you didn't do it alone. You've got some incredible partners, but dude, you're crushing it. And that's why I wanted to have you on.
Yeah,
so
thank you.
I want to hear, for those that don't know you, introduce yourself, tell us who you are, and how did we get to where we're at now, bro?
Yeah, it's been a long journey, and thanks for me up, man. Appreciate it. It's been awesome knowing you since what you brought up. But with that said, man, I mean, it's just been something that what you said, trying to build something that is irreplaceable and something that is generational for my kids now. As you mentioned, we were talking out there having kids, so
you're getting ready to have another one.
Getting ready to have my second. Yeah, man, it's awesome.
We're both going to be dads ×2 now.
Yeah, ×2. It's the biggest and best accomplishment of my life for sure. So what you said too, definitely not me. I have a great team. I put everything around the emphasis of just how good my team is. Yeah. So just trying to get the best of the best. And anytime we try to gain something or vertically integrate more things into our company, is trying to find the best person to add to our team, because we only have 24 hours each day. So I think the biggest thing that was just the big shift was just back in the day, seeing kind of how I grew up. I had a great growing up, but went to Catholic school at St. Francis. I'm born and raised here in Morgantown, West Virginia. I had 2 other siblings, and we went to St. Francis Catholic school. And our parents just decided down the road to have some different struggles and some different hardships. And with that said, we had our life go from one way to another way. So money wasn't a problem till it kind of was like, hey, we had some different hardships and other things. So with all that said, I kind of at a young age was able to understand the value of a dollar. Mm-hmm. And once
we talking like middle school?
Yeah, I'd probably say it was like, 6th, 7th grade. I was out there shoveling driveways, cutting grass. You had to grow up
pretty quick.
Yeah, to grow up pretty quick. Take care of me and my sister. It's definitely one thing I love. It's made me who I am today, and be able to, shape everything I have. And once again, learn the value of a dollar, which is one thing I feel is a lot of people don't understand, and what you can do with that too. So with that, just kind of went out, started shoveling driveways, started the first company, which was a landscape company, and knew that was always going to be a vessel, and use that vessel for sure to sail into bigger things, and added, and definitely had big goals and ambitions, and got with the right people, give a lot of my everything to my partner, Eddie. Yeah. He's my best friend, and we do a lot of stuff together, mentor and everything. So
talk to me. I want to learn more about Eddie, because I don't know Eddie super well. I've known Eddie because we did some marketing stuff years ago, and I know you guys are super tight. Talk to me. Was this a family friend? Like, how did you and Eddie get connected?
So I wouldn't say family friend, but definitely a friend of a friend. Becky Rees, actually, who's a very well-respected realtor in town, was doing work for Eddie at the time, and I was doing landscaping for Becky. So Eddie was looking for someone to do stuff at his units he had. He had dwindled his portfolio down. He moved out of state, and he was more or less looking for someone he could rely on, and someone that could get the job done. So I came in, we had met, and it started with just staining decks and doing a few other things. And it just very quickly turned into, hey, could you take care of this work order? Hey, could you take care of that? So, I always understood that if you want more, you have to do more. And if you want more, you have to do the more you're paid for. That's the next thing too. So I saw an angle, and that was the vessel I'm referring to with the landscape company that sailed me in here. But I had to, take care of all the problems and take care of the opportunity within the time frame too. So I had that opportunity, I saw it, and I had to seize it. And so take care of the problems for him. And we just never looked back. A partnership arose, and we had 36 units at the time. And we've taken it from the 36 to where we're at today. We have a few other partners as well too that are in it. And I have a few other deals I'm in now too with other people as well. But it has grown and blossomed into this, and every day is a growing thing. That's what I love about real estate, is you never can learn everything. Especially on the inside, there's always new products. There's always new things. You can always grow as long as your mind
100%.
Allows it. As long as your mind allows it.
Yeah. Man, I get the sense that you haven't had the moment yet to where you look back and you're like, in such a short amount of time at a young age, like what you've done is so uncommon. That was the main reason I was like, dude, I got to get Jacob on here, because you've done more than 99.9% of every adult in the United States will ever do in their entire life. Most people don't own a single piece of real estate as an investment, and you guys are going to be well over 1,000 doors before you say, hey, let's do something else. Most people your age, and you're not a kid, like you're a young man now, but dude, they're still like, bro, you're sub 30. Most people are still figuring out what the heck they want to do. Dude, you are so focused, and you run so many different teams of people, and you've got real estate, you've got a granite business, you've got a kitchen and bath store.
Still do the landscaping. We still cut grass. We still are out there shoveling our places, man. So yeah.
What, like, why have you? Was it the childhood thing where you're like, bro, I never want to be in this position again, and then you just been hungry and just killed it ever since then? Like, why are you the way you are?
I'd say that was definitely it. Having it from where I had the comfortable of every day, went from the private school to having, multiple other going to courtside tickets, my dad, everything to, just having the bare minimum, so seeing both sides and truly understanding it. So I wanted to make sure, my daughter, which I was thinking beforehand, or kid, because I wasn't thinking that before, never had to go through what I went through. And I still could just take care of them and have something that's irreplaceable. It could never be taken. It could never be there, and just build it up so hard and so fast and get the right people to where it just exploded. And I'm very into always trying to cut out people, and I don't take no for an answer. I think you definitely know that. People are like, hey, you can't do this, you can't do that. I want to know why, and then I'm going to go figure out how to do it. So I really just never take no for an answer.
Have you noticed that? Because I explain myself to people that I'm interviewing for employment, or just in the right conversation space, it'll come up. I tell people I run hot. I'm a hard person to be friends with. Most people, I'm very misunderstood because I am very intense. I always try to be respectful, but if I've got a problem with how something's being handled, I'm not that person that's just going to stand by and not mention it. I'm going to let you know that I didn't appreciate that, and I want the same thing reciprocated to me. If I don't handle something the way you want, I want to, I operate different than most. You operate different than most. And again, most of the people in your age bracket are still figuring out what they want to do. But at the same time, you're such a fun, loving, like normal dude to be around. Have you seen that? Not that you're a hard person to be friends with, and like most of the people your age have a hard time getting along with you. That's not it. But have you noticed that do you feel different than most people, to where you're like, man, I operate at a different wavelength. I don't feel like I'm better than people or anything like that, but I just operate at a different wavelength that some people don't run that speed. Do you feel that way at all?
Yeah, certainly. And I've had to change my friend group as you grow up and you adapt. You have your kids now too is number one, so who I want my kid to be around, especially as 100%. We grow up and do the whole thing. So yes, there. But yeah, I definitely am a go hot. I think what you said is the way. So I really do surround myself with people who are older than me now, such as Eddie, my other partner Carlo, my other partner Anthony, my other partner Scott, and I can just be on the same wavelength as them a little bit more, because I'm trying to always get more out of them. And with that being said, is their mind. I want to know what's in their mind, because there's more than this too. When you make your money, how do you invest it? Other than just real estate, so you're not have all your eggs in one basket. 401ks and setting up college funds for my daughter. All these guys have done this for their kids, and they've gone through this. So if you can take 3 to 4 of them and then make your best judgment out of 3 to 4 people, what's better than that? And the biggest thing that we have of people, especially my age, that is like, oh, you're so young. Oh, you're so, this is what people say all the time. That's your biggest, people want people who are young and hungry to teach them. They want to spend time with you. They want to be with people who show up. So your age is actually your biggest asset, because no one wants to go teach someone who's 50, 60 years old. Right. I hate to say it. They really don't care. So if you're young, hungry, most successful people will give their time to the younger generation because they want to see more successful people. Yeah. And that is a fact. I've seen that with everyone I know who's actually truly successful will give their time to anyone who's in the younger generation. Yeah. That is a fact. Yeah. So your biggest asset is how young you are, because you can go learn. So that's one of the biggest things I've seen, is just try to get with people who are smarter than me and then listen. Yeah. And then take everything always with a grain of salt and do your own research. But with that being said, you get enough and you get aligned with the right people, and you can't really go wrong.
Dude, you're wise beyond your years. Yeah, dude, you're one of the most interesting people I've ever met, just because, again, I don't like, it's like you're a 50-year-old in a 20-something-year-old's body, like with you're just wise beyond your years. And one of the things that I'm impressed with about you is you don't have that victim mindset. Like, there's a lot of people your age and younger that could have gone through some family stuff and use that as a excuse for why. So I'll use a quick example. My cousin, second cousin, who I love dearly, his dad, my cousin, got tied up in some stuff. And my second cousin was raised in a less than ideal situation. Very much so. Dad was in a gang, stuff like that. And he should have been a degenerate. His mom did prison time. Like, he had nobody that raised him the right way. Dude, this kid works for an engineering firm. He's a civil engineer. He's a wonderful dad. He's got a beautiful wife. And I look at him like, why are you this way? And he doesn't have a good answer for him. Like, what? Like, bro, you should have literally been a failure. And you weren't. And not that you were set up that way, but dude, you went through some stuff that you easily could have just used as an excuse to just be a townie that didn't do shit with his life. How come that wasn't the case?
So you said there's not an exact answer either, but I went through my own trials and tribulations as well too in high school. Trying to make ends meet, trying to do everything, and winter months now we're sitting here and there's tons of snow outside, but it's pretty hard to run a landscaping company in the winter whenever there's no snow. So I definitely went through some things. Got in trouble, got busted, and got expelled from school for a whole year as well too. And that was another year where I was by myself.
Okay,
and had
so you could have gone down that path.
I easily was down that path. Had every teacher tell me you're going to do nothing, you're going to cut grass forever. I had the whole thing. It was just using that as fuel. And I'll give another attest to a second mom. Which is Christine Sizemore. She took me under her wing. I went to her house every day. She helped me with all my school, helped me get my diploma. So I did get through everything with her and without her too. And I have had great mentors and teachers on the path. And that's the one thing too, if you actually want it and you have to show up. Yes, I've screwed up multiple things, but I always tried to listen when I did screw up and put my hand up first to say, hey, I messed up so I can learn to get better. So she is another one who kept me on the right path. So I was definitely set up and was going down that wrong path. And I got set by some right people and then took advantage of opportunities that were in front of me. And luckily it worked out to where we're at today. But I definitely should, I was set up for it, And if anyone can do this, I can. That's what I say all the time. And that's why you just gotta have a little bit of hustle. Every single day, 1% is what my saying is, 1% better every day.
Yep.
You get 365 days.
You do, man. You post it on social media all the time.
Yeah, I try to. 1%. I put it in my guy's head because if you're 1% better, you have 365 days a year. You can have so much progress. And I want my guys to screw up. I want my people to come in and mess up because how else are they going to learn? I want to teach them, but as long as they're learning from their mistakes and we're putting in the system, our systems that we have, how not to do it again. What's more beautiful than that? You have to mess up. That's the biggest thing too, is people are scared of messing up, but if you don't mess up, you're never going to learn. If you don't learn the hard way and you understand it as I do, lose some money in some of this real estate and actually learn the hard way, it's going to repeat and you got to hit those systems.
How do you, so we're both in real estate. You do several other things. You're super vertically integrated. Everything else outside of real estate has come because you need that in your real estate business. How did becoming a dad, I'm curious to get your take on this because I know how it changed me several different ways, but at the same time, I'm still true to what I was before. How did becoming a dad change you? And then I'll follow up from it after that.
Every which way. I'm still changing now, definitely for the better, who I hang around, which we had brought up, who I want around. Certainly still growing up my own sense as I'm young and, making sure, we all still have our small things and making sure I work through all of those with my great fiance, Carly. She's awesome, but having a dad, I've planned for this the whole time and now I am. It's the most rewarding and fulfilling thing I have for sure. It's the biggest accomplishment and achievement I have is number one is being a dad. So it's awesome.
When I talk to people about this, I definitely haven't said this on camera and I think you're a good one to have this conversation with. So I feel like the social norm is your kid is supposed to be your purpose, your passion. So many people change everything about their life when their kid is born. And for a long time, Asher's 2.5 now, but for a long time, the first year, maybe 2 years, there was this weird, like, I know I'm a good dad, but I don't feel like I'm as good of a dad as I could be because we struggled getting pregnant for so long. my son means so much to my wife and I, to where we're not the parents that like look for every opportunity to give it to grandma and grandpa so that we can go on vacation. Like we just don't do that.
Yep.
But at the same time, I'm not that dad that comes home and like just sits on the floor and plays for hours. I want to get him involved in doing stuff that I do. I don't have any problem going to work and being focused on work. So what I always say is my son is my purpose. He's not my passion. My wife, he is her passion and her purpose. That is her hobby. That is everything. And I felt so like self-conscious about saying that for so long. But what I mean by that is my job is to go out and hunt and kill and provide and protect and make sure they live a lifestyle that they never could have. I can't do that if my passion is not building. He is my why. I have to protect him and provide, and I want to teach him, and I can't wait to be able to bring him along. But he is not my hobby and my passion, but he is for my wife, and I love that. And I think that's why we make such a good team. Does that resonate? Do you agree? Like, because not everybody,
exactly what you're saying. No, 100%.
Not everybody's like that, and that's totally fine.
No, I understand what you're saying, because Carly's a stay-at-home mom, and exactly what you say. You know, I can be holding my daughter, and she still is yelling, "Mommy, mommy, mommy." It's the most beautiful thing in the world.
Yeah,
she loves her
100%,
mother,
bro.
and the bond they have is awesome to watch. So, with that being said, no, I know exactly what you're saying, because Carly and I have a great understanding too, where my phone doesn't stop ringing.
Yeah,
it never stops ringing. So with that being said, I have to go take care of a lot of stuff, and Carly has it handled. So I know exactly what you're saying, because then she can do a lot of things that otherwise, if I didn't take those calls and do those things, we could not do. So we both have a very good understanding, and I can resonate exactly with what you're saying.
It's the traditional roles, which I don't, I mean, look, and there's some people like, we're both very, very, very good friends with another real estate investor that, his wife and his two girls, that is his passion and his purpose. And he's super successful and makes it work. I'm not wired that way. I have to have, it's like an athlete. A football player trains to make it to that Super Bowl. That Super Bowl is the reason he puts the blood, sweat, and tears in every single day. My son is the Super Bowl. But I can't just sit there and focus and think about, the Super Bowl, all that. Like, I have to go out and hunt and kill and provide.
You gotta go through the regular season, the playoffs, so you can get to the Super Bowl with them.
Exactly.
Yep, and you're the one there, so they can just be in the Super Bowl. Yeah, I know, and resonates with me exactly what you're saying, because otherwise that's what we want, is for our significant other and family to have better than what we had. So I know exactly what you're saying. That's why we're doing this whole thing. I don't enjoy, I was on the phone last night at 3 a.m. with this girl because her heat was out. I don't like those calls. I do it though, you know, and I have a property manager who helps, but sometimes it's easier for me to walk them through, because I'm pretty technical and know how to do it. So
how have you at such a young age become as skilled and proficient as you are with team management? I mean, you're property manager, awesome person.
Great woman, my glue.
Yeah, dude, she's everybody that works for you for the most part, except the young guys, are some of them are old enough to be your parents. Yeah. And she's probably included in that. Like, how, talk to me about managing people much older than you. And I know she has a tremendous amount of respect for you and admiration for you. It's a unique thing. I've done it I do it now. I've done it when I owned my other company. I want to hear your perspective on that. What is that like? What are some of the challenges you've seen with managing people, especially for the first time?
Yeah, it definitely was a lot harder when I was like 19 years old, I'll tell you, to telling a guy who's, 60 or 58 exactly what to do, and then he does it wrong and I got to yell at him. But now it's just come out more to where I would tell everyone who walks in my door when I hire them, we're here to do a job. We're here to do this. Here's your job description. And at the bottom of it, it's whatever the fuck it takes. That's what it says. So the bottom line, we're here to do a job. I'll be your best friend. I'll help you ever I can, which I do to these people. They call me for multiple personal things. I'm always there for them. I try to do as much as I can for them. But at the same time, we're here to do a job. So if they can't leave that at the door and create the separation with the respect, then, that just is their own fault, and we'll get them replaced. And, I've formed this team over multiple years, and Jem was one of the pioneers of this. And we've added and we've lost a lot of faces, and we're still tweaking everything as each day is adding new properties, adding new things, new problems. You're always going to have that in real estate. People who are actually in real estate, there's no passive real estate I've ever seen in my life.
So doesn't
you
exist.
know what all these other, there's nothing passive about anything. So just forming that team, and it was an interesting time, but just making sure you can leave that at the door and understanding you have a job. End of the day, I'm the boss, but I still have other bosses, which is the bank, my mortgage, my insurance, my bills. If I don't pay my bills, we don't have anything. So I've got to do my part, and if they can't do it, then they've got to be replaced, and it's just that simple.
Something that I enjoy talking about to the right people is the stereotype that one, talking about money is not appropriate, and being motivated by money is not appropriate. Now, the love of money, I know I'm religious. I can't cite the exact Bible verse or whatever, but I know the obsession and the love of money is what's supposed to be bad. But I tell people, make no mistake about it, I am motivated by one thing at the top, and that's money, because of what I can do with that as it trickles down. I've done things for people that work for me to where they get in situations and they need help. I can't do that if I'm broke. I can't do the things for my family and extended family and strangers if I'm broke. So money to me is the most important tool. Yes, I like nice things. We both drive nice cars. We kind of buy what we want when we want. That's not why I'm motivated by it, though. It's trying to take care of other people. Talk to me about the importance of money to you and your stance on that.
I have a weird one that I know a lot of people definitely don't understand and will agree with, I guess. But it's what my partner Eddie had told me way back in the day whenever I was starting out, ramen noodles still every night, trying to do stuff, but we were making ends meet barely. I was. So don't look at money as money, especially with someone who's a grind like me. As long as you wake up every day, you work. Now, of course, when I say don't pay attention, you have to pay attention to it. You can't just, you have to pay attention to your funds. But if you don't think as money and you just go, it's going to come. Every day if you work and do the 1% better, and you're just working and building, the money is going to come. It's inevitably going to come. And especially in this industry where everything is just so slow, a lot of people in our area, not the industry, in our area for sure, they're just so slow. They take so long. If you come in and just actually can hustle and tweak stuff and vertically integrate as I have, you really can get a competitive edge, as you have too. So you can see that, and if you can fly and you can run circles around most of these guys. A lot of the tides changing too, especially in our town where it's the older guys that are now going to the younger generation. And it really depends on that younger generation what they're gonna do. So if they sink or swim. So it's an interesting time to see exactly where it all falls with, multiple things. But as long as you hustle every day, the money's gonna come. And that's what Eddie's always taught me. And one day you just wake up and you're like, oh, wow.
Yeah, there's a lot there.
There's a lot of money there. We sell this place, we do that, and there's a lot of money out for a fact. But I've always just looked 10 years down the road. I'm totally fine with spending more now, so I don't have problems a couple years down the road, a couple days down the road. I'd rather pay it one time. That's why I try to use the best of the best, pay a little bit more if I have to, with understanding exactly why I'm paying more. But with that said, I just would rather do it once and do it right. And then I know it's going to come.
100%.
So it's why I've always invested in just the better stuff one time, spent the money and gone bigger. And, it's always worked out in our favor because we know we're going to wake up the next day and hustle.
Yeah. I love it, dude. What motivates you now? Dude, you're so much more successful at such a young age than some people that work their entire lives. But you're like me. I'm not ready to slow down at all. So what's the drive? What motivates you to wake up today and fight like you're starting this thing from scratch?
Definitely, the family, which is number one, but I've already been doing that and we could be fine. But now it's my guys, which have been my family too, my girls, my team. I want to do the next thing for them. I want to build this next company for my sales reps, for my guys, so they can get an ownership and they can change their lives and their families' lives. So now I'm looking forward to still building the companies, but gaining the right team, making them partners and seeing the same thing I've done for them. And trying to teach some of the things I've done. So what I tell them all the time, YouTube University, it's our best friend. I go there all the time. And just doing it once and messing up. So right now is just For the family, for a fact, I don't think I'll ever stop working. I truly believe some people, we'll never stop working when you'll die whenever you retire. I do believe that. I'm too ADHD. If I ever stop, I'll never fully stop. I'll always have something going on. So now I do want to get to 1,500 units. I have a few goals that I have set that I want to hit just because I set them and wrote them down. But then just setting up and growing a bigger team and taking over more of the industry.
Yeah. What's the word chaos mean to you? When you hear that word, what do you think about?
We have controlled chaos is what we say. But we have a lot of chaos. That's a fact that our business
do you
is.
Seek it? Do you feel like in chaos when shit is flying?
Yes.
Because that's when I'm at my best.
Me too.
Yeah.
My partners say it all the time. Jacob, why you keep adding this? We have that going on. That's when I operate the best. When I'm under pressure, I love it. I love the pressure. That's when I operate the best. That's when I can make the guys go. That's when we all can run. And I love the pressure. I really do. And people say, why do you want it? Or why do you do this? Why do you add that? I truly love it. I love the chaos. I do.
Dude, I realized
it's like a drug.
I realized that about myself, and then really started to realize, okay, all these players that I run with, the people that are in my circle, we all are operating that same way. I realized that this past year, 24, 25, that I seek it. And the easiest barometer is like when you go on vacation, like anybody that's like, yo, by day 3, I gotta be doing, like that's my type of person.
Mm-hmm.
If you can if you're always looking for the way to relax, like we're just two very different people. But those that are always looking for that chaos, and then those that when shit hits the fan, when it gets really bad, that's when you're the most calm. I'm going through something right now that I really can't talk that much about. It's a large lawsuit.
Mm-hmm.
Somebody came at me over something that it's a former mentor and just completely taking advantage of me.
Mm-hmm.
And it is a large lawsuit. And you would think that when you get into something like that, that I thought, like, if I think back, be like, man, if you would have told me this 6 years ago, I feel like I would like crumble at the knees. And I know I didn't do anything wrong. I know I'm being taken advantage of, but there's this sense of calmness about me. It makes my wife nervous. It makes my mom and dad nervous when they hear about it. They ask me, hey, have you heard anything? No, I'm good. Like, that's that chaos when shit gets bad. And that's not even bad, but like when shit gets bad, the people that can just stay calm and keep everybody else around them calm. I had a mentor of mine a long time ago tell me this story about there were 2 captains, and the one captain had white pants on, pirate ship captains, and they're going into battle. And the other captain told his first mate or whatever to get him his red pants and his red jacket, because he didn't want everybody else to get nervous when they saw him getting shot, because he was going to stay calm and he didn't want to show any signs of weakness to them, because he was going to stay calm and he wanted everybody else to stay calm. Whereas the other captain was in all white. And as he started to get shot and bled, everybody started to freak out. And that resonated with me, because I feel like those of us that are the leaders and the winners, and those that other people look to keep things stabilized, we do well in chaos. And I feel like you're wired that way.
I love chaos. And I think kind of some of what you're saying is you don't judge a man when he's in his comfort. You judge a man during challenge and controversy. And that's one thing that's always resonated to me too. A lot of challenge and controversy I've gone through, but I've always stuck through my game plan, always been a man of my word, always came back on top. And, let's go forward.
Heck yeah, bro.
Got to go forward, man.
Yeah, man.
Every day you're going to go through, especially in these businesses we have, but it's how do you react and how do you also adapt? So put your guard up so for the next time is what we're always going through, put the systems in place. And every day going to go through it though. That's how we're going to end up and continue to be in the 1% is the goal. But without that, we won't be.
Bro, I have so much respect for you. And I tell all of our guests this, but with you, the respect that I have is unique to the fact that what you've done at a young age, bro, like I used to be touted when I was running my other company is like, everybody's like, bro, you've built this thing and you're like early 20s. Like now I'm not looked at as like the young guy anymore. And what you've built in a very short period of time at a young age, and it's not just the doors that you've amassed. Like that's awesome.
Mm-hmm.
It's the fucking team that you've got, and you run all these guys, and you've got friends that you're given an opportunity to, and like, bro, it's incredible, man. And I'm not just saying that. Like you're one of the first 3 people we've ever done an episode with, and that's why.
Thank you, man. Thank you.
And I consider you a friend, an ally, and that's what I love about this space. My previous business, the competitors all hated each other.
Mm-hmm.
If one of them's drowning, the other one's going to stick a hose in their mouth. To an outsider, we're competitor. We do the same thing.
Yeah, same
we
thing.
buy real estate. Dude, at least in this town, all of us that buy real estate are so close. And from day one, you have been nothing but kind and gracious and want to help. And dude, I appreciate it.
Absolutely.
And I
man.
think you're a true, unique success story. So I appreciate you coming on and chopping it up with me today.
Yeah, thank you. I want to emphasize team. It ain't me. This is a team. 100%. Everything I do is the team, and thank you for crediting them too, because it's what this whole thing is. I formed it. We're still adapting, but yeah, team. So thank you for that.
I appreciate you,
thanks for having me, man.
Thanks for coming on, my man.
I appreciate you on me. That was
All right,
sweet.
buddy.
I think that was pretty good.
Yeah, dude.
I think that was pretty damn good.
Hey, bro. Successful day.
Yeah, you guys killed it.
No doubt.